This is the Global Economic Commodities, Scrap Metal and Recycling Report by BENLEE Roll-Off Trailers and Luggage Trucks, December 9th, 2019. U.S. steel production fell to 1.835 million tons on slow economic growth. A question: will this week's new U.S. tariffs on Brazil and Argentina for steel and aluminum help U.S. steel mills and aluminum smelters more than it will hurt consumers of steel and aluminum? Oil rose to $59.10 a barrel, a multi-month high, as OPEC and Russia agreed to additional production cuts to reduce supply to try to force higher prices. U.S. weekly oil production was steady at the 12.9 million barrels a day, staying at the record level as fracking increases and standard oil rigs actually decline. Overall, great economic news. Iron ore rose to $87.50 a ton on continued slow global growth. Scrap steel #1 heavy melt was up $30 a gross ton and more in some areas to about $232 a gross ton on okay demand, but actually very limited supply, which drove up prices. Hot rolled coil steel rose to $28.08 a hundred on okay demand as well, and as steel mills pass along scrap metal price increases. Copper rose to $2.75 a pound on the strong jobs report we will talk about in about a minute. Aluminum was steady at 80.2 cents per pound on a nice balance of supply and demand. Cardboard scrap OCC Southeast was steady at $35 a ton, the decade low, on a slow economy and good supply. The Eurozone, whose economy is almost as large as the U.S., had its economy grow in the third quarter at a pretty slow 1.2%. Germany, which is the largest economy in Europe, has been hurt by slow exports to China as U.S. tariffs have hurt manufacturing in China and the U.S. The U.S. Manufacturing Index for November fell to 48.1, remaining in actual contraction. This was the fourth straight month of declining U.S. manufacturing activity amid a steeper decline in new orders and employment. Global trade remains the most significant cross-industry issue. The U.S. non-farm payroll report, which is new jobs created, rose 266,000, a very solid number as slow growth continues. This was helped by 48,000 returning workers that went back to work after the GM strike ended. With the new jobs report, the U.S. unemployment rate fell to 3.5, a 50-year low, as it remains tough to find skilled workers. U.S. consumer sentiment rose to 99.2, a 7-month high, as current and future expectations improved. But nearly all the gain was among upper-income households due to near record gains in household wealth, largely due to increased Wall Street stock prices. Unemployment claims fell to 203,000, near the 50-year low as the slow growth economy continues and a tight labor market. Wall Street's Dow Jones Industrial Average fell to 28,015, plunging early in the week on statements saying the China trade deal could wait until after the election, but then it rose sharply on the solid new jobs report. As always, feel free to call, leave a message on LinkedIn, or email me with any questions, and we hope all have a safe and profitable week.